What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and today I'm gonna take you guys to Ross with me to see if we can find anything to sell online. I've still been going to Ross on a fairly consistent basis, as well as Marshalls and all the other outlets that I usually go to, but lately the finds have been kind of slow. That's why I haven't been dropping any videos like that. But I'm gonna take you guys with me today, and hopefully that can bring in some good luck. And drop a comment if Ross and Marshalls and all these other stores have been good for you guys. But for me lately, it's just been super slow. That's why I'm really trying to focus in and trying to find some wholesale or just some better partnerships in order to source for stuff to sell online. But without further ado, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into it.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner.
Alright, y'all, so we're just gonna hit up the women's shoe section first. And this Ross, the first thing I came across was this pair of all white Air Force Ones, but this is actually a B grade. Now, for those of you that don't know, B grades basically mean that they have some type of factory defect, some type of flaw within the shoe, so they usually stamp the inside of the shoe with a B. You can still sell those shoes, you just have to make sure you let people know that they are a B grade and they might have some type of flaw. But for me, I haven't sold any B grades in the past. I haven't come across anything that was really worth me picking up. These Air Force Ones in particular, pretty dope in my opinion, but for the price point, if they were a little cheaper, maybe 20, maybe 40 bucks, I probably would have took a chance on these and flipped them. But for that price point, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. These are really dope though. I think they have some nice little details on them, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and pass on those. Next up, I came across some Timberland boots, and I've been seeing a lot of Tims in these Rosses lately. I've been picking up some I've been passing on. These in particular, I think I might also have to pass on those. They're just a little too expensive, and I don't think there's enough profit to be made with those. This is another pair that I've been seeing fairly often in a bunch of different Rosses. I think this is called the Jane model. I think these are the ones that you can actually fold, and they have some type of Sherpa lining on the inside. So I might pass on those as well, but only because I think they've been selling for about 80 to 70 bucks, so not enough money to be made. Right next to those, we got some more Timberlands, and these were 50, and I think this all red pair, I might actually have to pick these up. I'll have to check the comps, of course, but this all red pair might be worth it. 70 bucks is kind of high, so I'll have to check the comps and see if it's worth it. Now, these were a pair of shoes that I actually picked up in the past, and this shoe is actually still sitting in my inventory. This was just a bad buy. This is a pair of Nike Tailwinds for women. I picked those up a couple months ago, and they have just not sold. The outlet was even selling them for way less, and it included the box, so that was just a mistake on my end, but it is what it is. I just had to share some of the highs and, of course, some of the lows with you guys as well. Those are just a pair of Adidas Torsions, not worth it for me to pick up. Next was another pair of those Jane model Timberland boots. I checked the comps afterwards, and 60 bucks was just a little too much for those, so I put the black ones back, and I'm not going to pick up those either. And as you guys can see, there's a ton of boots that's in the inventory now in Ross, so you definitely want to pick up boots because this is what people want, especially for the next few months. But Kookaburra, I think, is like a subsidiary of UGG, and they're basically like the cheaper version of UGG, so I'm not gonna pick those up, especially not for 38 bucks. Now we are in the men's section, and we have some more Adidas Torsions. These used to sell pretty well, but right now I think the market is a little too flooded on those, and they're selling for like 60, maybe 70 bucks if you're lucky, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be picking up those, especially those sizes. Next up, we got a pair of New Balances, and these are actually on clearance, so those might be worth picking up. Drop a comment if you guys have sold any of those in the past. I know at one point they were selling for some decent profit, and then of course the market just kind of tanked on those. And next up is a whole row of Adidas Night Joggers, and I actually do like the Adidas Night Jogger. I just think they've put out way too many colorways with this shoe, and it didn't have any hype whatsoever, so these aren't necessarily selling, especially not for 43 bucks. If I came across these in the outlet for say 15 or maybe even 20 bucks with the box, I probably would have took a chance on them. But as you guys can see, especially in Ross across the country, these are sitting everywhere, especially for that $40 price range, so I'm not going to take a chance on those. Here's a pair of Timberland boots for men. We've seen a bunch in the women's section, but they also been having a few of these for men as well, but these are just 80 bucks and a little too much money for me. Not enough profit to be made on those. And there's a few other Timberlands in here. We got this other colorway. I thought this was just a classic pair of wheat Timberlands, but they do have a little some more colors and some stuff going on. But for $90, definitely not worth it to me to try to flip those. I've been seeing those in a bunch of different Rosses as well, and they've been sitting everywhere. Now, as you guys can see, just wanted to show you guys the selection overall. Drop a comment if you see anything that I probably should have picked up. But like I told you guys early in the video, Ross has been pretty dry for me so far. This was just a pair of Tresk runs. Nothing serious. These have been sitting in a bunch of different Rosses as well, so I'm not even going to take a chance or spend too much time on those. This is actually a real interesting shoe, but they haven't been selling either. The colorway on these is really dope, and these are actually Pusha T's sneakers. I don't know if he plays basketball, but these are actually some basketball shoes, and as you guys can see, it says King Push on the back. But those haven't been reselling for much profit either, so every time I've seen those, I pretty much passed on those. And this is a pair of Adidas Alpha Boost, I should say. These have that cool gradient colorway on the bottom. I think they're selling for maybe 70-80 bucks, but I'm gonna pass on those as well. Now, this is something very, very interesting. I know the 2Gs have been selling for a decent amount of profit lately. These are some really, really comfortable basketball shoes. The only downside to these is the fact that it's a size 12.5. But this colorway seems to be kind of rare, so I'm definitely going to take a chance on those. Now we are in the clothing section. Had to check this out really quickly because you really never know what you would find. I've been coming across some really dope Nike sportswear pieces in Ross lately, so I always try to spend at least a few minutes in the men's section just to check out the clothing. But this was a really good find. Came across this Steph Curry jersey. This is one of those vapor knit jerseys that sell for a ton of profit. And thankfully, Curry is still on the team. When I first seen this, I thought it might have been a KD jersey. And if it was, I probably would have left it. But since it is Steph, I'll definitely be picking this one up. And as you guys can see, the MSRP on there is 200 bucks. So this is a very high quality jersey. The weird thing about this is the fact that it's a size medium, 44 if you want to use the numerical sizing on there, but they put this within the 2X jerseys. So you definitely want to make sure that you're, checking all the racks, checking through the clothing section thoroughly, because they definitely put stuff in the wrong places sometimes. Now, this is one of those types of pieces that I'm always on the lookout for. Like I told you guys earlier, Nike sportswear pieces sell really well for me. This is one of those nice windbreakers for 40 bucks. And the front did seem kind of plain until I flipped it over and seen the back. And the back is what definitely got me. I wish this wasn't my size. Probably would have kept it for the personal, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can get at least maybe 80 to 100 bucks for this. I'll have to check the comps, of course, but these are the types of stuff I try to sell all day long. And then just as I thought I was finished with the men's section, came across this really dope Puma and Rude jacket. Puma and Rude have been doing some collaborations lately, and some of their stuff is dope. Some I definitely have been passing on, but this jacket has been selling for some decent profit, and only 20 bucks for this one, so I definitely should be able to make some decent profit on this one. Once again, if this was a little small, I probably would have tried this on, but size large, so this will definitely be getting sold, and hopefully it can bring in some decent profit on this one. Like I said, I don't do a ton of clothing anymore, but if you can come across certain pieces in Ross, it's definitely worth a shot trying to flip it on eBay. Alright, y'all, so we are back in the crib, so let me just show you guys what I picked up from Ross really quickly. This is a pair of those Pro Model 2Gs. I believe these are the name on these are Meta. Just a really dope colorway. One is gold, one is silver. Pretty sure these will sell in a decent amount of time. It's a very awkward size 12.5 is kind of tough, but the shoe itself is dope. And one of these, I seen somebody had these on auction, and I think they had the same size 12.5. They started the auction at like 110 bucks, and they already have a couple bids on there, so it made me just want to grab those up as well. So hopefully these don't take too long to sell. Next up, we got another pair of 2Gs. These are the forbids in a size 14, and 14 is also kind of tough, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. These should sell. I seen actual listings on these, but I didn't see any actual sales, so these are kind of a gamble. I think these were 40 bucks, so we'll see how long these take to sell, but I'm pretty sure I should be able to get at least 100 bucks for those. Next up, pair of classic 990s. These are the 30th anniversary New Balance 990s. Really dope. They don't have the actual the tag that it usually does come with on these, the Made in USA tag, but it is what it is. Still gonna list those for about 110, 120. See how those do. Pretty sure those will sell in a decent amount of time, and I think these were 30 or 40 bucks, so really good profit margins on those. Next up, I found this Steph Curry jersey. This one is one of those vapor knit jerseys, so this one is really dope. As you guys can see, retail price tag on here was I think 200 bucks, and Steph, I'm not a huge fan of Steph Curry at all, but this jersey is really dope in my opinion. So I'm pretty sure I should get maybe 100, maybe a little more. I didn't even check the comps on these. I just seen Steph Curry vaping knit jersey, grabbed it up. I knew this would sell for some decent profit. So I'll list this up later on today, and we'll see how well those do. And of course, next up we got this dope Nike jacket. Really wish this was in my size. This is in a size large, and I think this one was 40 bucks as well. The price tag on here was 140, so hopefully we can get at least something close to 100 bucks for this jacket. I wouldn't be surprised if it sells for maybe 100 or a little less. It is what it is, but pretty sure this will sell for some decent profit. These Nike jackets always do pretty well for me. I've been selling a ton of Nike sportswear lately. And last but not least, we got this Puma and Rude jacket. This was actually a collaboration. I'm not gonna say everything from the Puma and Rude collab sold well. Some of the track jackets and stuff like that did not move at all. But this jacket in particular had some good previous sales for like 100 bucks, 120. So there's definitely a market for this jacket. The original price on this was 175, which is kind of high for Puma in my opinion. But I only spent 20 bucks for this jacket, so definitely left in some decent profit margins on this. So I'll list mine for about the same, maybe 100, maybe 120, and see how it does. And hopefully it does sell pretty quickly. But overall, considering how slow it's been, I think this has been some decent finds for the day, so I'm happy with that. Alright y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit. You should wanna be a real one.